Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the first annual public meeting for Multicultural Community Services Geelong, or as I will refer to for the rest of the evening, MCSG. In the spirit of reconciliation, MCSG, MACS and Diversitat acknowledge and pay respect to the Wathaurong people and all the traditional custodians of the land on which we work and we meet today. We also acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands in which you live and are joining us from. We pay our respects to elders, past and present, and stand together with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, leaders of today and tomorrow. We value your histories, your culture, and your knowledge. It is just so lovely to see so many MACS and Diversitat people in this meeting. And I also have a number of guests that I would like to acknowledge being with us today. Bill Mithen, CEO of Give Where You Live. Sandy Morrison, CEO of Barwon Child, Youth and Family Services. Jembra Shields, Acting Executive Officer, Ethnic Communities Council Victoria. Joel McGuinness, CEO of Geelong Arts Centre. Stephanie Gunn, CEO of Gateways. Grazia Shrimpton, former MACS Director and past Chair. Zoe McCubbery, former MACS Director and Founding Director of MCSG. Barbara Abley, AM, Founding Director of MACS. Zoran Domovsky, Diversitat Director and Founding Director of MCSG. Shankar Kaisnathan, Commissioner, Victorian Multicultural Commission. Rosemary Nugent, Electorate Officer on behalf of Gail Turney, MP, Member for Western Victoria, and Michael Tate on behalf of Christine Cousins, MP, Member for Geelong. Thank you all for taking the time to join us tonight. For those of you that may not know me, I am Joy Lego and I am the inaugural CEO of MCSG and also at the moment CEO of MACS and Diversitat. We have got you all on mute at the moment, but we are very happy for you to engage with us through the chat function on the Zoom if you'd like to, and we will respond to your questions in that manner. If your connection drops out, don't worry. We will be sending the recording in the coming days to you, to the email address that we have on file. It's actually a really exciting time for us to be doing this very first annual public meeting as a combined entity. It's the beginning of an exciting new journey. And to my left, I'm really delighted to be able to introduce the independent chair, John Herkach, who has actually only been in the chair for 20 days, so is brand new. So a very warm welcome to you, John.
Thank you, Joy. It's an absolute pleasure.
Good. And we will hear, just before we started, John and I had an armchair conversation, and we're going to cross to that now so that you can listen to some reflections from both John and I about this journey. John is the new independent chair for MCSG, and I think you've been in the role all of 20 days at the moment. I thought it would be nice if our Zoom audience could meet you, but also to hear a little bit about you as an individual, but what attracted you to the role of being the independent chair. I know that when we were in merger discussions last year, the directors of both Diversitat and MACS were really keen to have someone who had a fresh set of eyes, hadn't had a close association with Diversitat or MACS, to be able to bring that independent viewpoint. So it would be lovely if you could share some information about yourself.
Thank you, Joy. Appreciate the time. Basically, I was approached by Geelong Espero, who came up and asked whether I'd be interested in putting my hand up for the independent chair position between the two newly formed businesses. They impressed me immensely that I decided that I would put my hand up and then take the next step. And of course, then we spoke about the new role, and that basically got me over the line in the sense of proceeding forward and having to put my hand up for that position with the board. Just with my background, what made me want to actually get involved, I was brought up in a multicultural community. Mum is Greek, dad is Croatian. And in fact, when I went to primary school, I couldn't even speak English. My dad formed a Croatian-backed soccer club, the North Geelong Soccer Club, along with a handful of others as well. And during that time, of course, there were different nationalities coming in. I grew up in Bell Park. Bell Park in the 60s and 70s were predominantly Europeans, of course, Croatians, Italians, Greeks, Macedonians as well. So, and then in the 70s, the Filipinos migrated as well. So it gave me a great understanding of the different cultures and respect for people's thoughts and beliefs and religions and so forth. And I just feel that with my background of having experienced that, and even to this day experience it, if I could just bring something to the table, I'd be very proud. And it's very exciting too. With the 20 days, obviously I haven't had time to fully grasp the whole operations, but what I've seen so far and the different services it offers, I'm just truly amazed. I had no idea. And I'll give you another example. I'd go to my mum's for lunch each day. And in Bell Park, I think about 5 or 8 years ago, there was a big influx of Sudanese community. And so I'm driving down the street, turning right into Thompson's Road, and I see these Sudanese kids sitting on the fence. And I'm wondering, what are they giggling about and what sort of joy are they getting? Can't see what's going on. And they were just actually pointing to the cars and the buses, and I thought, I need to try and get involved and do something here. And that was one of the purest and most beautiful things I've ever seen. And it's taken this long to sort of get approached, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to at least have a little bit of input where I could at least help. So, and the other thing too is I'm so impressed with the board and the mix of skills that it brings with both sides, Diversitat and MACS. So I'm really looking forward to some fantastic things happening with the team and the team behind as well. So thank you for the opportunity and the honour.
Yeah, pleasure, John. What a lovely story, actually. That Sudanese story and the kids and the joy and just seeing the cars and where they may have come from, or what they'd had experienced already. But MCSG, one of our core values is kindness, and we've always got to keep that in mind. I think that's a really powerful value for us to have. But you mentioned the directors, and that's absolutely correct. They're a passionate group of people. We've got 9 directors from MACS and 5 from Diversitat, and they all come with skills. Now, you're a finance school, John?
I did forget to mention that my background is accounting, and I also have a law practice as well. Mainly do businesses. So once again, through my experience, I've been in practice for over 30 years. And if I can bring to the table any of that experience, which will help or at least have some form of debate, I'd be very happy. So, and as I mentioned, we all have different skill sets, and once again, I think the key to an independent chairperson, an outsider who hasn't been involved before, is to bring those different set of eyes and at least just have open for discussion various and different things that perhaps the other directors haven't thought of. So if I've done that, I've done my job, I think. So we're all in it together, and we move forward together, and we make decisions together, which is going to be for the benefit of the newly formed organisation.
Beautiful, John. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you, as I do with all of the directors. It's an exciting time coming ahead, and we're on a great journey together. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation. John and I enjoyed having a chat.
We did.
Right. So now down to a bit of business, John, we need to get down to. So I would like to hear from, as we go through the meeting tonight, you're going to hear some things around Diversitat, some things around MACS, and then some general MCSG things. So for now, we'd like to hear from Diversitat's President's report, and I'd like to introduce Dr. Linda Seidel-Petkovic.
Thanks, Joy. Last year in my President's report, I spoke about the strength of the human spirit, the importance of community, and what we had during this COVID pandemic. It's been humbling for me to witness the length to which the staff and volunteers at Diversitat have gone to keep this connection going. Programs were stopped, gatherings cancelled, courses taken online. That very important human touch was lost, but distanced visits, meal delivery, and online connection took its place. Our well-known Paco Festa creatively went digital, with a history of migration being displayed on the Geelong West Town Hall. We were also still able to enjoy cultural food through an online ordering system. In November 2020, the 48 members of our affiliated communities unanimously and with a sense of enthusiasm agreed that Diversitat and Multicultural Aged Care Services Geelong, otherwise known as MACS, should merge to create one organisation whose legal name will be Multicultural Community Services Geelong. To the senior staff of Diversitat who have led the operations under difficult circumstances, firstly under Brian McMahon as acting CEO until May 2021, and then Joy Lego, who currently wears 3 hats: CEO of Diversitat, CEO of MACS, and CEO of Multicultural Community Services Geelong since May. Thank you all for your commitment that you have shown not only to the merger, but to the day-to-day operations of Diversitat under difficult and trying circumstances. This year, the executive team of Zoran Domovsky, Eldo Jacob, Sophia Shen, and Dr. John Lamp need a special mention. Merger discussions and planning have created an extra layer of work generally not asked of a director. Your commitment and vision are acknowledged and with deep appreciation. My sincere thanks to our ethnic communities for the unified and welcoming way in which you all work together, and with Diversitat for the benefit of our community. You are the heart that makes Diversitat beat. Passing back to you, Joy.
Thanks very much, Linda, for your report. I'd now like to introduce Spiro Futouris, the Chair of MACS, to present his report.
Thank you, Joy. Last year's annual report, we were at the beginning of the pandemic. Who would have thought 12 months later we were still dealing with it? It is with some optimism, though, that we are seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. For all of this reporting period, COVID was at the centre of our attention, and I can't help but acknowledge with the utmost respect the staff of MACS for their dedication and care to both residential and home-based residents and consumers of MACS. They continue to work and care tirelessly amidst uncertainty across the nation. They should all be very proud of what they have achieved. I know the directors are. Whilst dealing with the pandemic, our industry was involved in a Royal Commission into aged care and quality. The industry was constantly in the press for all the wrong reasons. As a board, a decision was made that we would continue to push the many positive aspects of ageing and the quality of care and life experiences that can still be enjoyed. Again, this is a credit to staff, volunteers, suppliers and supporters of MACS. During the reporting year, we also continued merger discussions with Diversitat, which culminated in a decision to merge in December 2020. I acknowledge with appreciation the extra workload this placed on our Chief Executive Officer, Joy Lego, during this period. I congratulate Joy on her appointment as CEO of Multicultural Community Services Geelong, as well as retaining the position of CEO of MACS during the transition period. And finally, to my fellow directors, I extend my sincere thanks. You have all been asked to do extraordinary work during the merger discussions. At the same time, you have continued your committee work with diligence and care, focusing on MACS. As a skill-based board, I'm indebted for the wisdom they bring to the board and their commitment to the vision, purposes and values of MACS. Now it's back to you, Joy.
Thanks, Spiro, and we'll be seeing you later to present, drumroll, the much anticipated MAD Award. But up next, I'd like to welcome Deanne Firth to present the financial report. And just by way of a little bit of background, Deanne is the Treasurer for Diversitat, for MACS, and for MCSG. So her report is a combination of the three entities.
Thank you, Joy. As Treasurer of Multicultural Community Services Geelong, I am this evening presenting an overview of the finances of the three entities. I was appointed Treasurer of MCSG in May 2021, and I'm currently the Treasurer of MACS. Eldo Jacob is Treasurer of Diversitat, but for the ease of reporting, I will be speaking on his behalf. I'll break down the report to reflect the three entities. Multicultural Aged Care Services Geelong Inc., MACS, recorded a net operating result of $291,543 for the reporting year, which was very pleasing given the extra costs to run the residential facility, on average an extra $50,000 per month due to COVID. Our home services team have experienced steady growth in package numbers, and whilst we have a number of vacancies in Bellachara, we are optimistic that with COVID restrictions easing, this will improve. The net assets for MACS at 30 June 2021 was $14,136,000. Our financial statements have been audited by Davidson's with no concerns raised. Diversitat. On behalf of Eldo Jacob, Treasurer of Diversitat, I can report that Diversitat had a surplus of $158,509 for the financial year. It is acknowledged that this surplus was supported by $1.2 million in JobKeeper funds for the period of July to September 2020 and January to March 2021 to support the operations of Diversitat during COVID. We also received business continuity funding from the Victorian State Government to support our registered training organisation of $800,000. The net assets of Diversitat at 30 June 2021 was $7.2 million. Our financial statements have been audited by Davidson's with no concerns raised. Multicultural Community Services Geelong. Operating financially only from May 2021, when the Chief Executive Officer commenced, there was no need for the financial statements to be audited. As you can see from the report, there was no surplus or deficit, as activity was purely charged back to MACS and to Diversitat respectively in equal shares. Expenditure to 30 June relate to employment of a merger project manager and the Chief Executive Officer. It's acknowledged that during the transition phase of the merger, there will be one-off costs associated with the merger. These have been factored into our budget for the 2021-2022 financial year. Back to you, Joy.
Thanks, Diane. Now we're just going to change focus a little bit. The MACS residents come from all corners of the world. In fact, 66 different nationalities are represented. And we recently invited some of our residents to show us how they cook some of their favourite recipes and to tell us about the story behind them. We'd like you to take a look. This video was done for Seniors Festival and was in partnership with Gateways. It had to be done in a COVID-safe way, but I think you'll get a lovely feel for the interaction that took place as part of this project. And we thank Gateways for their support in making this happen.
Hello, my name is Giuseppina Casado. I was born in Italy. I was born in 1935.
My name is Leandro Casado, from Madrid, capital city of Spain, and about 84 years old.
Today I'm gonna cook pasta with meatballs, which is something that my grandchildren love. Yeah, they always wanted me to cook. Whenever I cook something else, they say, Nonna, that was beautiful, but please make the pasta next time. We just learn from our parents how they cook. And then when I came to Australia, I didn't know much about cooking and never liked to cook. My mom used to say, what are you going to do when you get married? So I tried and tried and tried until it came the way I like it. And my daughter said, no, Mom, they don't make the sauce like you do. No one is going to waste 2 hours to make a sauce.
Hello, my name is Alma Patterson and I'm about to cook some scones. My kids used to love scones very much. Before I'd have them out, they'd have them nicely buttered and eaten them before I could get another batch out. Really good, think I'm a kid again. But it was good, very good days. I wish they were here again, but they can't be. That'll be all right. They've got to be like that. I don't know how my scones will turn out. I haven't made them for years, but I hope they will.
Maria Rossi, Coccopizza.
Which part of Italy?
Potenza,
Potenza.
Basilicata.
Oh, nice. Is your family love your pizza you're cooking?
Yeah,
Good.
I teach.
You teach them to cook
Teaching
everything.
kids, yeah.
How many kids do you have?
Kids,
Yeah.
5,
And your son have pizza shops, yeah?
yeah. Tenakandra Pizza, Monbons.
Yeah.
It's my son.
I'm Hilde Brenner, born in Romania from German settlement. And I grew up in Germany. And I'm making a German almond cake, which is a very favorite of the family and the friends.
Is there a secret ingredient?
Yes.
What is it?
That's almond meal now. But the wholemeal almond meal is better. Makes it nicer looking.
Good morning, my name is Dinah Maiden and I'm cooking an Irish wheaten bread. I came from Ballyclare, County Antrim, Northern Ireland. I worked in Larne and I was coincidentally I met one of our staff here that came from, her granny came from Larne. And I'm here 64 years and I'm married 64 years to an Irishman. I chose this recipe because my mother made it, my granny made it, and I love it. And all the family love it. So I hope you like it too.
So we now like to go to the Diversitat Awards, which recognise the work of staff, clients and volunteers throughout this challenging year. And I don't think anyone can doubt that it has been challenging. I'd like to introduce Rochelle Yao, the RTO Manager, to present the first award.
Thank you, Joy. And now I'd like to present the award for Student of the Year in Training. The Student of the Year award this year is going to Rabia. One of the things we're really proud of at Diversitat Training is that we provide welcoming and personalised service to students from a called and disadvantaged background. And this is really rewarding when we can help students build on their skills and knowledge, and then they can participate in social and economical life in Australia. And this is especially the case for members of our COLD community who often experience great adversity and challenges in their life. It is never easy to move on from one country to another, coupled with the extra challenges. We want to give this award to you to say how proud we are that despite the challenges, you are still coming to training, kept trying to learn and have always hung in there and making great progress with your English language.
Hi, my name is Rabia. I come from Afghanistan. I came to Australia in 2017. I am a single mom. I have 4 children, 2 daughters and 2 sons. I am learning English at Diversitat. I like my English class and my teachers. They help me. I speak English outside.
The next award I'm presenting is for our Outstanding Staff Achievement Award in Training. This goes to Terry. When she came to us, we knew she was an experienced trainer and coordinator, but what we didn't realise was the challenges in the remedial action courses, and we really put Terry into the deep end. We are giving this award to Terry as she's been able to unravel all the complex compliance challenges that we've had in this space. And this is something other people may have walked away from, but this is something that Terry has shown her knowledge and dedication to achieve these outcomes for our students. She has taken on this challenge all while working remotely, and we are grateful that she is a member of our team. I'd now like to pass over to Zena from Age Support.
Thank you, Rochelle. I'd like to be able to present the Age Support Outstanding Staff Member Contribution Award, and this year it's going to Ivana Flajovic. Now, it's always difficult to decide who to give an award to, but Ivana has been an outstanding staff member since 2010 when she joined our team. She jumps in and helps out wherever it's required. It doesn't matter what the task, and often without being asked, she just gets on and she does the job. She provides staff support and guidance to the rest of the team, and she's very well liked and well respected. So Ivana, well done. You deserve the award. Thank you for all the work you put in.
Well, thank you very much for this award. I'm quite surprised. There's so many other workers that should receive this before me. I'm also filled with gratitude, and I would like to acknowledge the other activity workers because we do it as a team. Thank you very much. And also I would like to thank for the guidance, Gordana, Lloyd, Zena, Robin and Lynn before her. And yes, thank you again.
I'd now like to pass over to Jasmine Findlay, and she's going to present the Outstanding Volunteer Contribution Award for Age Support.
Thanks, Zena. The next award is for Outstanding Volunteer Contribution for Age Support. This award goes to Elaine Keenan. Elaine has been a volunteer for the Community Visitor Scheme since 2019. She's forged a wonderful friendship with her older friend, who was 95 years of age at the time, and they are both a true testament to what the program is. And I would like to give her my many thanks.
Thank you. I'm very humbled, and it's a privilege to do volunteer work for Diversitat.
And now I'll hand over to Casey for the awards for Settlement and Community Services.
Thanks, Jasmine. Hi, everyone. My name is Casey O'Brien, and I'm the General Manager, Settlement and Community Support at Diversitat. It is abundantly clear that the last 12 months have been extremely challenging, and COVID-19 has been an event that has took us all by surprise. The pandemic has created uncertainty, anxiety and disruption to everybody's lives. As an organisation, we've faced real challenges with regard to supporting communities during a period of crisis, while at the same time dealing with our own reaction to the pandemic and working through the uncertainty of an organisational merger process. It is important for me to therefore publicly acknowledge the efforts of all staff during this very challenging period. I'm extremely proud of the way in which settlement and community support staff have responded to individual and community need, which is testament to their resilience and passion for their work, their commitment to a shared purpose, and their ability to collaborate, plan and implement responses at individual, group and community level. This often occurring on the run. To quote an often used saying, Necessity is the mother of invention, and there have certainly been some great examples of innovative practice by settlement and community program staff in responding to community need. Thank you to all settlement and community services staff for the work you do every day to ensure we meet the needs of those we work alongside. Your efforts are appreciated and valued. I'll now pass over to Luke from My Maintenance Crew.
Thanks, Casey. This year's My Maintenance Crew Outstanding Staff Achievement Award goes to Jackie Moore. Jackie Moore is probably one of our longest serving staff members at My Maintenance Crew. She works in our cleaning sector. And since Jackie's come on board, her ambition and drive to provide customer service, attention to detail also, and creating a great environment for our young people to work in. Well done, Jackie.
So this award is a big surprise for me. I've been at My Maintenance Crew for the past 2 years, and it's a great place to work. We have an amazing team with a great positive attitude, and I couldn't do the work I do without all these young guys that help me out. And I've worked in cleaning for the last 30 years, and I've gained a lot of knowledge over those years, and it's great to be able to pass it on to somebody else and let them find out for themselves the quickest and easiest ways to do all this stuff. And that's about it, but thank you. I really appreciate this.
Thanks. I'll now pass over to Leo.
Thanks, Luke. And we've had a very mixed up year this year at the Pulse due to the COVID pandemic, but that hasn't stopped some wonderful volunteers. And one of those is Dave Steele, who's a Volunteer of the Year this year at the Pulse, for sending in all those music programs that he pre-recorded from home to keep us on air during the pandemic and those lockdowns that we've been in and out of. Thanks very much, Dave.
Thank you to the Pulse and Diversitat for this unexpected award, which I'm very honoured to receive. Community radio has been a great love of mine for the past 35 years. I established a community radio in Bacchus Marsh in 1984, which has gone from strength to strength. It now broadcasts on FM 98.5. Since moving to Torquay to live in 2013, I have been involved with the Pulse presenting a weekly program called Steelworks. I also assist with outside broadcasts and, when required, broadcast the GDFL football. Presenting music to the local and wider community has always been a great interest to me. And so I also operate a mobile disco for approximately 30 years in and around the Bacchus Marsh area. During the many COVID-19 lockdowns over the past 19 months, Leo asked me, could I record my music programs at home on a regular basis and send it to the station to enable the Pulse to continue operating and presenting local programs to the local community. I was very pleased at doing this, and as my community radio is very important to me, and I enjoy recording and playing my music. So finally, I'd like to thank the Pulse for this award and feel very privileged to receive it.
And the Oppie Shoppie Award this year for the Outstanding Volunteer, it goes to Wimala Gargan. Wimala is a fantastic help at the Op Shop. As we've been through many lockdowns and reopenings at the Oppie Shop this year due to COVID, Wimala's always been there as a steady hand, helping sorting, helping in the shop, even pushing those trolleys up and down the main hallway at the back there so she can get more stuff in and out of the shop. Thank you very much, Wimala. And we'll now go to Adam Frattantaro. Adam.
Thank you, Leo. The Tyler Dean Positive Achievement in Reconnect Award recognises the achievement of a Reconnect program participant based on 3 criteria. Number 1, participation in education or obtaining employment. 2, a positive attitude. And 3, the ability to overcome challenges. Tyler Dean was a participant in the very first Reconnect program in 2017. Tyler was fun, enthusiastic, and a real pleasure to work with. In less than 6 months, Tyler completed a Cert 2 in automotive. He obtained a job trial and secured an apprenticeship. He was one of the very first Reconnect participants to secure employment post-study. Tragically, Tyler died in a hit-and-run accident in 2017, which was devastating to all who knew him. Though it's only a small gesture to honour Tyler and his achievements, the Reconnect Award is in his name. So I'd like to introduce Tyler's mum, Janelle, and her husband, Josh, just to say a few words.
My husband Josh and I are here to proudly present the Tyler Dean Student Achievement Award for 2021. This award is in honour of our son Tyler, who was taken from us far too soon in a hit and run in 2017.
Tyler was living his best life that year, and it was, in large part, because he was fortunate enough to have Adam Frattantaro from Diversitat as his mentor. In just 6 months, under Adam's guidance, Tyler went from disenfranchised, bored, and directionless to being certified in panel beating and had just signed up for a 4-year apprenticeship that he had been offered. He was incredibly excited to begin his new challenge and chapter of his life.
2021 has had many challenges of its own, and it can be easy to give up, but Diversitat never do, and the recipient of this year's award did neither. Every year we meet students who have gone above and beyond in their efforts, and we are as proud of them as we are of Tyler. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Diversitat, and a huge congratulations to the winner of this year's award. Well done.
Thank you, Janelle and Josh. So this year, I would like to announce the recipient of the Tyler Dean Positive Achievement in Reconnect Award. The recipient is Reginald De Luna. Congratulations, Reg. So Reginald, or Reg for short, was part of the Reconnect program for over 12 months. In that time, Reg obtained a job at Diversitat's My Maintenance crew. He received his ALS and then his full driver's licence. He volunteered with Diversitat and recently secured work in Melbourne in the area of individual support, a field he's aspired to work in for some time. Reg has a great attitude, he's caring, he's persistent, and personally I'm very proud of Reg's achievements. Unfortunately, Reg is very busy working in Melbourne, so he couldn't make it with us this evening. However, I did get to chat with Reg earlier, and he asked me to pass on his thanks. He also said that Reconnect has been a great stepping stone to get where he is today, and he really appreciates all the help. So congratulations again to you, Reg. I will now pass back to Joy. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam, and congratulations to all award winners, all very well deserved. Now, we all know it has been a challenging year with lockdowns, and that restricted the visitors that we could have or allow to have in at our MACS facilities. But over the past 18 months, we've managed to come up with an innovative solution that has achieved national interest with our visitors pod. We'd like to share with you a short clip in relation to the impact that these visitors pods have had on keeping our families and our residents connected. Innovation has always been at the forefront here at MACS, and we're actually a creative bunch, and I'm really proud of this one because we've created the MACS Visitor Pod.
Every day is a new day. To have fun.
Well, when I first saw Stan and the smile on his face that he had just glowed, and of course that became infectious for me, and I had to just almost cry. The actual physical contact by seeing him through a window was very emotional.
Not being able to see Nonna for quite some time has been hard, so being able to see her as soon as I got the opportunity, that was going to happen for sure. Yeah, it's been great.
It's just wonderful, especially with all the windows. It was just so open. I didn't expect it to be so well done.
Smiling face rather than just being on the phone.
Yeah.
Every day is a new day.
It's pretty special to be able to see my mother. She's 91, and it's been quite a few weeks now, and you always wonder, will I ever get to see them again? So
I'm really grateful to set this all up. I feel like they've put a lot of work into it, and it's just such a good idea. So.
Yeah. Thank you, Max.
MACS is quite ahead of the curve, I think, when it comes to innovation and ideas, and this is no exception.
Our residents and families are everything here to us at MACS, and caring for them is just so important. This Visitors Pod is one of the ways in which we can ensure that human connection continues.
We really want things to get back to normal here as soon as they possibly can, but we want to keep our residents safe, and that's the most important thing for us. So we hope this visitors pod will allow us to achieve that.
Volunteers play a very important role at MACS as well as Diversitat, and it's so good to see volunteers coming back and offering their time and dedication year after year. One of our volunteers is celebrating 20 years with us this year. To acknowledge our MACS volunteers' anniversaries of service, I'd like to introduce Ilaria Carini, our MACS volunteer coordinator.
Thanks, Joy. Currently at MACS we have approximately 50 volunteers coming from 20 different nationalities. These volunteers, they undertake different tasks. Some help out in the wellbeing program, others make coffee in our Sales Cafe, or run our MACS boutique, which is an op shop. And some do gardening. We have also volunteers who undertake administration duties or entertain our residents with musical performance. Volunteers who take our residents out for a ride with our trail bikes, and volunteers who provide spiritual support. These volunteers, they really make a difference in the life of our residents and keep them connected with their community. These volunteers really brighten up the days of our residents, and they're really looking forward to see them on site. At MACS, we have many volunteers who have been around for several years, and we like to recognize their years of service. We like to do that because we wanted to thank them for the amazing job that they do at MACS and for all the time that they donate to the organization. This year, we are recognizing 4 volunteers. We have Rita Ambrosi, who has been volunteering for MACS for 10 years in the Holy Communion program. Then we have Carol Maloney, who has volunteered for MACS for 10 years. Currently, Carol is volunteering in our MACS boutique, but in the past she helped out a lot in our wellbeing program too. Then we have Teresa Vanderbroek, who has volunteered for MACS for 15 years. Teresa is currently helping out in distributing emails to our residents, but in the past she undertook many cooking and tasks and craft activities with our residents. And last but not least, we have Maria Winicki, who has volunteered for MACS for 20 years. Maria is currently volunteering from home, making goods for sale in our Sellers Cafe, but she has done much more during her last 20 years. But Maria is here today, so I will explain to you what she has been doing the last 20 years. Thank you, Maria.
I'd like to thank everyone for this honour. I'm very pleased to receive it. However, it's been a privilege to work for MACS over the past 20 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with the elderly ladies whom I was helping and teaching to do craft while I was there. We started off originally making cards, and the staff and residents were starting to purchase these, so I've decided to start a stall, which started with cards originally, but then it went to craft making as well, and knitting. And I must thank my dear friend Val, whom over all these years has been giving us her beautiful dolls to sell at MACS, which have also included in our takings over this time. So we've been fundraising, and the monies that we've received have gone to MACS for various projects such as setting up the hairdressers and specialty wheelchairs and whatever else they need. So it's been an honour and a pleasure to do that.
Thanks, Maria. Congratulations to you and to everyone else who has been nominated today. And now we'll pass you back to Joy.
It's now time for us, John, to acknowledge our staff anniversaries across MACS and Diversitat. This is always a special time for me because the staff play such an important role in delivering services across the entire organisation, and it's lovely to acknowledge their dedication and care. So starting at 10 years of service, I'd like to acknowledge from Diversitat, Hige Pao Tu, Nathan Impiombato, Aziza Moshini, and Leo Rankin. And from MACS, Annie Flomo, Bolgusha Liam Dowaska, Gloria Longo Bagshaw, and Jenny Jiang. At 15 years of service from Diversitat, we have Barbara Katic, Marg Lakeman, Sarah Murray, Kay Norris. And from MACS, Belinda Waller, Maureen McNamara, Mary Lumley, Jasminka Juresic, and Marta Saresi. At 20 years of service, what a wonderful milestone, John, 20 years of service, I'd like to acknowledge Mary Kotev from Diversitat. Now, Mary was actually one of the very first staff members I met when I started as CEO of Diversitat, and Mary's got such a lovely, bright, bubbly personality, and I am aware that she's worked across all departments of Diversitat over her 20 years and is now a very valued member of the Reconnect team. Mary, I'd like to invite you to say a few words, please.
Thank you for this great honour. I'm very proud to be here for 20 years, I guess, working at Diversitat and my journey. I just want to, thank everybody that I've worked with over the past, and I've had some great mentors along the way, and wish all the best for the new organisation, and looking forward to the future.
Thank you, Mary, for your service and for those words. For MACS, I'd like to acknowledge Timia Ziva, who is also celebrating 20 years. I've got a few words to say about Timia because she was a bit shy and didn't want to come and be part of this, but I just want to acknowledge Timia because she started with MACS, John, 20 years ago, and she started in our kitchen as a food services assistant. She moved into a caring role. She's done some studies and she's now a registered nurse, Division 1, and she is also one of our nurse unit care coordinators, one of our NUCs, overseeing the clinical care of our residents. She's been a very valued member of our clinical team, and from Hungarian descent, she's come a long way.
What a lovely story.
It is a really lovely story. Yeah. And now, this, John, this is incredible. We have a staff member with 40 years of service. 40 years. Can you believe that? Starting in 1981, I would like to acknowledge Tony Sakita from Diversitat. And if I could do virtual claps, I'd like everyone to put a little clap in their chat room and give Tony a
I know Tony
clap.
very well.
Do you? There we
Tony
go.
taught me Croatian folklore dancing
There we go.
many years ago.
That's a lovely connection. So I've also known Tony ever since I started. When I started at MACS, we were in the building opposite the Geelong West Town Hall, and my desk was next to Tony's, so I've got a long association. So very well deserved, Tony, acknowledgement of your 40 years. So I'd like to invite Tony to actually say a few words for us.
It certainly is a very special occasion for me. I just wanted to say something very briefly. The last 40 years has been a lifelong journey filled with memories, inspiration, challenges, achievements, real friendships and personal growth. I have been privileged to witness the growth of a unique and extraordinary organisation which found strength in unity, to care for people and communities, in particular refugees and migrants. I have witnessed the early days of the Geelong Migrant Resource Centre evolve to Diversitat and more recently merger with the Multicultural Aged Care. My experiences have been rich and rewarding. There are so many people I would like to acknowledge, too many to mention over a period of 40 years, but I make special thanks to people who believed in me and gave me the opportunity, support at the beginning of my employment with the Geelong Ethnic Communities Council, including the GECC, in particular the late Ivo Loncha, Frank Di Stefano, Joe Pavlovic, a late friend, Kathy Kimmel, and the then coordinator of the Migrant Resource Centre, Val Oakden. All the affiliated ethnic communities for their faith and trust in me. I'd like to thank my parents for their love, care, support and childminding in the early days. I would also like to acknowledge the late Jordan Mavros, the late Sophia Saba, the late Bianca Giudici, Anne Eckel and Grazia Shrimpton for their care, friendship and support. They were all mentors to me and I learnt so much from them. Fast forward, I am part of an amazing team and surrounded by invaluable colleagues. And together we continue to impact on so many lives, reuniting families, welcoming, supporting settlement in the new land, navigating very difficult times and people reaching their full potential. I used to joke when I was being introduced to visitors to this agency. I used to joke about being the dinosaur of the organisation, but I have come to know that I'm not a dinosaur. I have been with the organisation for such a long period of time, constantly adapting to never-ending change and being resilient.
Thanks, Tony, and thanks again to all Diversitat and MACS staff, especially those celebrating an anniversary of service this year. Moving on, we're just going to change tack a little bit, John, and we now just want to talk a little bit about vaccinations. I think...
I'm in your hands.
Good. I think everything this year and the last few months has been around getting people vaccinated, how important that is to keep us all safe moving on into the future. And those numbers in Geelong, we should be really proud of where we are with those numbers in Geelong. But I have to say I have been so proud to be part of the Diversitat push and what they've done for vaccination rates in our called communities and how they've gone with the assistance of Barwon Health in delivering language appropriate and supportive venues for our called community to be vaccinated at the Northern Community Hub. So our called communities, John, were able to attend and receive language support to assist them with navigating the consent process for the vaccination. And we've actually got a video of one of our clinics that we've recently held.
My name is Krimu. I'm from Karani community, but I'm Karen.
My name is Sese, and I'm from Karani community.
I want to be protected from the COVID-19, and I'm very glad that I can come here today and to have my vaccine for the first dose. Today is very important day for all of the community member living in Geelong here. I want to encourage and prompt everybody to come and if you've not done your vaccine yet, please have your vaccine to be done, because it is very important for everybody, because when we have a vaccine, that is mean that we are be more safer and that we can be out of this lockdown, because the lockdown is very annoying and it's very sick for everybody, and it's for the kid is very strongly at home to do the remote learning. So just for our kids, our future, our freedom, so we need to have a vaccine.
Yes, they're very good for people to have the vaccine, because even everywhere have vaccines, we don't need to lock. I think we don't need to lock down anymore.
our community, most of them can speak English, and then when we have to do the booking online and also the telephone booking, it is so hard. Diversitat just organized this, so I am very happy, and it is the very best way to help our community. So I would like to say thank you to Diversitat and the Bowel Help, the helping community, and I hope this will be going to happen in the future for some of the rest of the community.
John, the next thing I think that's really important for us is about the training of our staff. It's really important that for us to be able to deliver good services, we need to ensure that our staff have the education and accredited training that they deserve. And we've got a number of staff from MACS. We have a training program at MACS where staff are invited and encouraged to upskill. And I'd like to pass over to our educator, Lizzie Belegrovic, and she's going to present some education certificates.
Thank you, Joy. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the Wadda Wurrung people, the traditional owners of the land on which we stand today. I'd also like to pay my respect to elders past and present, including those from which you are watching this event. I'm Lizzie Belegrovic, the educator of the MACS arm of Multicultural Aged Care Services Geelong Inc., known as MCSG. Today, we find ourselves reflecting on how a sense of purpose connects to vocation in aged care, which is meaningful and satisfying. This applies to our wonderful group we celebrate today, who completed their accredited courses or activated registrations in the last financial year. Their achievements are linked to their sense of purpose. Perhaps this shows us that they are capable of guiding other staff, steering decisions, influencing behaviours, shaping goals, knowing their sense of direction, and creating meaning when it comes to their work ethic. The value of education is a message we've all heard incessantly, so this is not a new message. We don't have to have it bellowed out at us from a loudspeaker on a mountaintop, do we? It's fair to say that MAC's approach to valuing education is our enthusiasm towards learning. The proof is today's celebration. Value of education is not just all and be all, though. Some academics ask if we can free ourselves of the barriers that prevent us from achieving. But this is just theory. In the real world, we all have busy lives and commitments, and we can rightly say that a COVID-19 barrier was not conducive to completion of a course, but our group today still completed in the very face of it. Imagine, study now is not for the faint-hearted. The Hollywood actor Denzel Washington says that the path to properly educating oneself is not rigid or limited. Like some old textbook with outdated theories on physics, an education path can be found almost anywhere. Anything that is a mystery or an area of uncertainty is in fact an opportunity to educate oneself. Few people can predict their entire career path, and for most of us a career is a long and winding path full of twists and turns, yet we know that upskilling opens the floodgate to knowledge in a new arena in which we may excel. In regard to our group of achievers today, we might say that humility and hard work can make us the best we can become. In whatever we do, driving the bus, serving meals, checking medications, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a job to do. Everyone has a purpose in this world, and nobody's purpose is more important than anyone else's. Thank you. Now we'll acknowledge our staff. Delish Chand for Diploma of Nursing Registration. I just have to say that he did pass the course, but sometimes people wait for their registration, so congratulations on that. Mariam Chenini, Certificate 3 in General Education for Adults. Bianca Davidson, Diploma of Nursing Registration. Jenny Jiang, Bachelor of Nursing. Jasminka Jurisic, Graduate Certificate in Aged Care. Ling Kong, Diploma of Nursing. Rosa Law, Certificate 3 in Pathology Collection. Martha Scala, Certificate 4 in Individual Support and Disability. Samaya Shiraz, Bachelor of Nursing and Registration. Rizwana Sultana, Diploma of Nursing. Karen Voigt, Certificate 4 in Individual Support and Disability. Stephanie Warren, Certificate 3 in Pathology Collection. And that's it. Thank you, Joy.
Now's a drum roll because it's time for the MACS. It's highly anticipated MAD Award. Now, MAD, John, we are a little bit mad at MACS sometimes, but MAD is for making a difference.
Okay.
And every month, anyone can be nominated from staff, volunteers, residents, anybody who's seen to be making a difference to the community that we're part of.
Mad, in other words.
Mad, yeah, got to be a little bit mad. So there's 12 of these given out every month of the year, and then the MACS directors make a decision as to who the overall winner is. And I'd like to pass over to Spiro to present this year's award.
Thanks, Joy. The MAD Award, which stands for Make a Difference, is an award given to a staff member who has been nominated by fellow staff members. Nominations are received during the year, and a final list of 12 are provided to directors to pick the award winner, and that's no easy task. To all those nominated, you are all winners. This year's MAD Award winner is Ursula Rennick. Ursula was nominated for, and I'll read this out to you, One Happy Consumers Family Advice. Since Ursula has taken over as a care manager, there has been a huge improvement. Ursula is a very professional person. She offers a friendly ear and good advice to the family. She is approachable and reacts to issues raised. From the outside looking in, she has the carers pretty well organised, and from our parents' perspective, having consistency in carer is key to success. She visits our parents when she senses the need and really likes these meetings. She reinforces what is needed and is available to them and presents all this with caring oversight to them. So well done to you, Ursula. I will now ask Ursula to say a few words.
Thank you, everybody, for nominating me for the MAD Award. I just want to thank everybody at MACS for, over the years, for all the support I have had. There are numerous people I can sit here and name, but yeah, everyone knows who they are. I just want to say thank you. I do love my job. I have grown a lot in the past year. I love working in the community. I just want to thank you, everybody in the community. They're just amazing, helpful. Thank you for Joy, to Joy to give me this chance for this opportunity. And that's all. I just want to say thank you.
Congratulations again, Ursula. And now it's back to you, Joy.
Thank you, Spiro. And congratulations to you, Ursula. But I do acknowledge our other candidates that were a part of this process. But again, there's a lovely story with Ursula. She started with us many years ago as a traineeship coming out of Diversitat, doing her personal care training, and now she's gone on and continued her education, and she's a very valued member of our home services team. Well done to Ursula. Now, Diversitat is made up of 50 affiliated communities, and I'd like John's actually now going to acknowledge their years of affiliation with the organisation.
Thanks, Joy.
Good on you, John.
Thank you. 15 years affiliation, Maori community, 25 years affiliated, Indonesian community, 35 years affiliated, the Dutch community, the Irish community, the Russian community, the Scottish community, Ukrainian community, and now we move on to the 45 years affiliated, the Croatian community, the Greek Hellenic Orthodox community of Geelong, Italian community, the Macedonian community, and the Serbian community. I would also like to recognise the work of our GECC community representatives. Anthony Strange from the Irish community for 10 years of service as a GECC rep, and Sophia Shen from the Chinese community for 15 years of service as a community rep. I'd now like you to meet our MCSG directors who have a short message for you all. My name is John Hercatch and I have the honour of being the new chairperson of the jointly amalgamated group, and my vision is to try and help grow the corporation and provide a lot more services for our community.
Hi, my name's Tess Abeline. I am a senior lawyer at Coulter Roach Lawyers. My vision for the organisation is just a powerhouse for the multicultural community in Geelong. I think we can do so much and I'm really excited.
Hi, my name's Gary Kovacs. My background is technology and my vision for this organisation is to make a positive difference for the lives and people in our community.
Hi, my name is Eldo. I come from Indian community of Geelong and I come from a finance background. I have run a finance business and my vision for the organisation is to help people in need and create a platform where we can actually support everybody who comes to us.
Hi, my name is Gillian Costa, long-term Geelong girl, come from a background of private business in and around Geelong, and I'm really keen to keep working with the organisation to make sure that all of the multicultural community have a place to go and to be looked after so that they can live their life to the fullest.
Hello, my name is Gail Perry. I'm a former Director of Multicultural Aged Care Services Geelong and my experience is in aged care. I'm really looking forward to the merger between Diversitat and Multicultural to provide a cohesive and expansive service for the migrants and population of Geelong.
Hi, my name's Deanne Firth. I'm a chartered accountant who specialises in audit. My vision for the business is that we have a solid, sustainable future that can deliver services to all of the Geelong community.
My name's Gerald Di Stefano. I've been involved with MACS for about 19 years. I bring a purchasing and risk management profile to the organisation, and my vision for the new organisation is to continue to provide services to the needy multicultural community and in particular the emerging communities.
Hi, my name is Spiro. I'm a board member of Multicultural Community Services. I'm here to help look at our property and our buildings and make sure that everything's in line for where we want to go in the future.
My name is Sophia Shane. I have been affiliated with Diversitat for more than 15 years. My vision for the new organisation, I hope this is the place people can come together and is feel their home.
Hello, my name is Linda Seidel-Petkovic. I've been involved with Diversitat for over 20 years and my vision for the new entity is that it becomes a multicultural powerhouse and continues to service the community of Geelong.
My name's John Lamb. I'm from 94.7 The Pulse, which is part of the organisation, and we try to provide the voice of the organisation.
Back to you, Joy.
Thanks, John. There's no doubt that MCSG has a really bright future ahead of us, but something else to look forward to is Paco Festa for 2022. And it will be our 40th anniversary, and I think that's really very special and something that Diversitat should be exceptionally proud of. As we all know, the event looked a little different in 2021 due to COVID, but we want to share with you some of the highlights. So, everyone, please mark 26th of February 2022 in your diaries for Paco Festa and visit pacofesta.com.au for more information as it becomes available. So, John, that concludes our meeting for tonight, your first annual public meeting.
And most enjoyable too. Thank you, Joy. Thanks for holding my hand.
That's all right. You're very welcome. I'm hoping next year that we can actually all meet face to face and celebrate the achievements, our first year of MCSG and MACS and Diversitat coming together and continuing with the proud tradition of high quality services to our community in which we live and serve. And thank you all very much for attending.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.